Hi, my name is Sarah Taylor. My company is Sarah Taylor Coaching. I'm a success mindset coach and a results mentor, and I work with individuals, small business owners, and solo entrepreneurs. The topic of mindset as opposed to strategy in your personal life or your business life. Now, strategy is important, mindset is important, but when you look at both of them, the importance of mindset as opposed to strategy is that no amount of strategizing or brainstorming that you do with yourself, with your team, whether it's your operational team, your executive team, with a coach or a business consultant, no amount of strategizing is going to guarantee the results that you want in your business or your personal life if you don't have the proper mindset. And so when I'm talking about mindset, what I mean by mindset, I'm talking about a success mindset. So a success mindset is one in which you are able and willing to really look at the parts of you, your thinking and your habits, your beliefs that are going to be the root cause of your actions and your behavior, as I mentioned before, that are really going to drive you forward and drive the results that you're getting in your personal life or your business. So you want to really understand the root cause of your results being what we call a paradigm. So our paradigm is a collection of habits and beliefs and our self-image that drive our actions and our behavior, and then ultimately dictate the results that we're going to see in our business and in our personal lives. So mindset as opposed to strategy, you want to understand what are your non-productive habits, what are your limiting beliefs, what are the parts of your self-image, which is a tremendously powerful part of our paradigm. What are the parts of our self-image that are disempowering, that are limiting us from actually working towards or implementing the strategy that we may have put together for our personal lives or our business. So again, mindset is extremely important, and no amount of strategy is going to guarantee the results that you want if you don't start with a proper mindset. So the role of fear in stopping or impacting progress in achieving your business goals, and this goes to whether we're talking about business goals or personal goals in life. Fear is an interesting concept. It's really an interesting emotion, and it is just that, an emotion. So it's what's important to understand is where is the fear coming from? What's driving the fear? What is triggering that fear? And the more you understand what is triggering the fear, the better able you'll be to work with that and really use fear as fuel to move you forward. Now, oftentimes fear will come up as an emotion because of some thoughts that there is a thought that's triggering that. And typically what's happening is for an entrepreneur or business owner, if you are engaged in a goal or an initiative that's really, really big, something that you've not accomplished before. And I want to take a step back is talking about goals for a minute. For a goal, the purpose of a goal is to help you grow in your professional and your personal life. So if you really are entertaining a worthy goal, and I mean worthy of you, worthy of your organization, it's going to be something that is so big that ultimately, in order for you to grow and move to push past that growth edge, to refer to as a growth edge, to step beyond that, you want to be setting a goal that's so big, that's something you've never accomplished before, that your team has not accomplished before. And if you're really creating that lofty, worthy goal, then you are going to experience discomfort and you're going to experience fear because you're stepping out and attempting to do something that you've never done before. And when we do that, when we're stepping outside of our comfort zone, we're going to naturally experience some worry and some doubt because we've never done it before. We may not have the resources or the knowledge and skills yet to accomplish that. When we step out and try to do something that we've never done before, we're going to doubt, we're going to worry, is this the right decision? Is this the right goal? Am I capable? Is my team capable? Do I have the right team in place to accomplish that. And as you start entertaining these thoughts of worry and doubt, you're naturally going to be producing the emotion of fear. When you understand what's happening in your mind and how your mind is creating, your mind and your body are creating that emotion, it's really a physiological response. When you understand that, you can use this fear, this emotion of fear, as fuel to move beyond it and act in spite of it. Where it begins to hinder our progress is when we allow it to stifle us and we allow it to hold us back. And what ultimately can end up happening, and this happens to everyone, no one's immune to this, when you're really stepping out and doing something big, you're going to hit what I call the terror barrier. You're going to bounce right off that terror barrier, and ultimately you will find yourself bouncing back into your comfort zone. When you allow the fear to bounce you back into your comfort zone, you sit there for too long, then that is going to hinder progress. It's going to stop you from stepping out and doing something that maybe you really, really want to do and are excited about, but because it's so big, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to stretch yourself. So what we want to understand is use fear as fuel, and that it's just an emotional, biochemical, physiological response when we begin to entertain ideas that are larger than what we've entertained in the past. Again, this works for your business as an entrepreneur as well as your personal life. Being honest with yourself as an entrepreneur is, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, but especially as an entrepreneur, is really, really important. And what I think of when I say being honest with yourself, you really want to take a step back and look at and I mentioned this concept before, a paradigm. You want to look at your paradigm. You want to really examine and raise your level of self-awareness about what parts of your paradigm are not serving you. So a paradigm is a multitude of habits that has almost exclusive control of your habitual behavior. So we're talking about your habits, your beliefs, your expectations, your self-image. All of this is rolled up into what we call a paradigm, and it's in our subconscious mind. So if you're really being honest with yourself, you want to look at what are your non-productive habits? What are your disempowering beliefs? What are the parts of your self-image that don't serve you, that aren't in harmony with where it is you're wanting to go professionally and personally? And you want to take a really clear and honest self-assessment, because when you do that, you're better able to shift those non-productive habits into productive habits. You're more inclined to question your beliefs, and a belief is nothing but a thought that you've thought over and over and over and over again until it's impressed upon your subconscious mind, and it's something that you've just taken as a truth or as a fact in your life and in your business without questioning. You really want to honestly assess what it is you believe, personally and professionally, what it is you believe you're capable of, what do you believe your team's capable of, what do you believe your company is capable of achieving, and question, where do those beliefs come from? Are they really my beliefs, or did I just adopt those or accept those at some point in my life, and are those really serving me and serving my team and helping us get to where we want to go? So that takes an extreme level of honesty and intentionality in looking at yourself, also helping your team look at their individual paradigms as well. Our minds in general operate the same way, but each of us has our own unique talent. So you might have someone that's a really good analytical planner and strategist, and able to break things down, break a plan down into strategies and tactics and objectives. They have this propensity to want to do that, this innate desire to want to plan before moving forward. And versus someone else might have more of the innate talent to just be more spontaneous and creative and just get an idea and then act on it. It's important for an entrepreneur to really take an assessment of what their strengths and weaknesses are, what their propensities are. But what can also happen is, if you don't cultivate that strength, you might find yourself very analytical and great at planning, but if you don't cultivate that habit, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've honed that skill. You want to take the time to look at those strengths and weaknesses, and if the strengths that serve you, really capitalize them and cultivate them. Examine how they are serving you and helping you reach your goal. If you haven't been in the practice of cultivating these strengths, then they're going to be a little rusty, and you might have not intentionally, but you will have picked up other habits that don't serve you. And a habit is cultivated over doing something a certain way repetitiously over and over and over and over again. And that may serve you well in reaching your goals, or it may not. Back to one of the questions about being honest with yourself. You really need to sit down and assess the results that you're getting in your personal and your professional life. And if the results aren't what you want, then understanding that your external results are merely a reflection of what's going on inside. You have to step back and look at, what are my habits? What am I doing that is creating the results that I'm getting? What are my habits? What are my beliefs? How do I see myself? Do I think I'm even capable of doing what I want to create or getting the results that I want? You really want to take that very careful assessment. And in doing that, if you find that there are certain habits that you've cultivated that are non-productive, then you want to look at, what can I do to shift those? So you've examined the results that you're getting you don't want, and all of these actions and habits that you are doing that are creating those results. And then you want to shift and say, well, what are the results I do want? What is it that I do want to create? In an ideal situation where I have all the resources and the time and the skills and the team around me to create those results, what does that look like? What am I doing every day? How am I acting? How am I behaving? What team members do I have that are assisting me? What resources do I have at my disposal? And then compare your non-productive actions, and this could be done at a team level or an individual level. So what are my non-productive actions that are producing the results I don't want, or non-productive habits? And in the scenario that I crafted of the results I do want, what are those productive actions and habits that are helping me produce the results I do want in that manufactured, that crafted scenario? And then really compare them. That process will help you understand, what am I doing that's on autopilot? What am I doing day by day that I really don't give any thought to, that's creating this scenario that's producing the results I don't want? And you really have to sit back and examine. There's no way to really understand if you have a propensity and a skill at something versus have you just developed a bad habit of not cultivating those strengths, or doing something that we all do this, we call it the knowing doing gap, doing something that we know we shouldn't do, it's giving us the results that we don't want, but we keep doing it. Or not doing something we know we should do in order to get the results we want, but we know we should be doing it, but we don't do it. So there's this knowing doing gap that we all experience, and the only way to close that gap is to really understand what's creating it. What is it that we're doing or not doing that we know will get us the results? And we've got to examine our results, and we've got to examine what's going on internally in our mindsets. One important tip in particular, I would say as an entrepreneur, one piece of advice that I think is extremely important is to invest time on a daily basis for personal development and for study. And when I say study, I don't mean necessarily studying your particular craft or technology or industry, although that is important. But I'm talking about personal study and personal development. Understanding what drives you personally, understanding how your mind works, understanding what makes you tick. Because the more you study yourself and raise your level of awareness about what drives you, your habits and the parts of the paradigm that serve you and that don't serve you, and you understand that, the better able you will be to lead yourself. And that's extremely important as an entrepreneur. entrepreneur, if you're going to lead a team, even if you're starting out as a solo entrepreneur with aspirations to grow your company and bring on support in your company, and whether you bring that support structure on as employees or 1099 contractors and outsource, you're going to need a team of people in order to be successful. In order to lead that team, you need to understand how to lead yourself. And you will not be able to effectively lead yourself if you don't understand yourself. Personal development and study on a daily basis is extremely important, and I recommend it to any entrepreneur to set aside time every day to make that investment in themselves, because that investment will have a ripple effect to every area of their life, personal, professional, as well as their teammates in their business.